Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's another Monday live. Hopefully you guys had an excellent weekend. I can tell you that the sales just kind of keep on keeping on with us. Knock on wood, or whatever the hell this is.
Particle board.
Yeah. I really am looking back to last year and just trying to see when is, about this time is when things started to slow down. So I'm going to do everything I can to stay ahead of that and to keep the sales going because we're having a really good year. And I hope that there's some others that can say the same out there. And that's a lot of what we do on this channel is to try to help people improve, right? And I know there's people out there that are hurting with their sales. And a lot of people say that I'm saying things that are obvious a lot, like on the Profit Playbook podcast, sometimes on this channel where it's like you repeat yourself. But you know what? I think sometimes I have to. And the message remains the same because it's the same message. It's fairly simple, but I think a lot of people just don't see it the way I do. And I don't see it just from my lens, though. I see it from a lot of other lenses, people letting me know, let me see their stores. And I see and I understand that things are not good. But the one thing I think is holding a lot of sellers back is not having a complete understanding of the market. Now, their market, not the market in general, because we know that the economy is not so great right now. I'm talking about the market for that particular item that you list, whether you're selling in a niche or you're selling everything like I do. It's having an understanding before you even buy the thing, what the market is for this, not buying it and then finding out, wow, I have to price it at this high of a price in order to make the kind of profit I need to make from this item. Because I'll give you an example. And look, I make mistakes like this too. Of course, I was distracted. That's my excuse, and I'm going to stick to it. But never buy items when you're playing in a poker game. Okay. I was on my phone, knowing in the past, I think a lot of us kind of fall victim to this. Oh, in the past or up to this point, these items sell well for me and they sell generally around this price point. So I decided to buy a ton of these shower shitter commode chairs you guys know about, which we sold 3 of this weekend, by the way. But my idea, here we go. I turned this feature off. Oh, gee.
Obviously not.
Well, okay. So you got a little close up of me until I fix this thing. So I bought the 60 some odd shower shitter chairs, right, that you guys know about. And I couldn't sell them. And I priced them at the price point that I thought that they would be selling at, right? And hold on, I'm trying to get this thing so it comes up. Bear with me 1 second, guys. This is going to distract me. I swear I got this thing. I promise you guys I got this thing fixed. So does that fix anything? Yeah, it fixes it. So we're back to where we were. So again, buying the shower chairs, the commode toilet seats, whatever you want to call them, and thinking I'm going to sell them for 50, 60, 70 bucks a piece plus shipping. And why did I think that way? Because I've done it before. I've done it before with just the standard shower toilet seats. And I didn't think about the colorway. I didn't think about the orange or the blue being an issue. And I bought them thinking I was going to sell them for 50, 60, 70 bucks plus shipping, to find out that wasn't happening. In fact, I had to continually lower my price. Now I have the orange ones at $59.99 free shipping, which I don't like to do, but it's one way to move them. And the blue ones are, what are they now? They're $22.99 plus shipping, depending. I'm selling a lot more of the blue ones because they end up being cheaper. And that wasn't the whole point of it. Now I'm making 2 to 3x, but that's certainly not what I want to do. Am I taking a loss? No, but this is stuff that's taking up my space and my time. And had I known the market better, or at least didn't think I knew the market, had I done the research on this colorway, the orange and the blue, and taken a look at Terapeak, And sometimes what you got to do is look at Terra Peak, take a look what it looked like 2 or 3 years ago for that same item. Look at it what it's now, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The market for some of these items have changed right before our eyes, and if we're not paying attention, we're going to think back to when it sold well for us, but it's not selling well for us now at that current price point. So we talk about things like ASP, right? Sell-through rate. I think sell-through rate trumps ASP. This is what I talked about on Primo's channel on his live today in the chat. I wasn't on his show, but I was in the chat. And we were talking about a lot of different things that affect sales and slow sales and people who are making sales versus those who aren't. And I think that price, and Biff Boffo in the chat made mention of this, but price is pretty much the most important thing. Guess what, guys? You could sell anything on eBay right now. So the whole thing a lot of people hold against me is this idea of how I've said many times, it's not eBay, it's you, it's what you're selling. A lot of people took offense to that, but it's still somewhat true. I've been selling a lot of better things than I ever have before. Fender guitar, I think they're top of the line, Alpine car stereos. I never had these kind of things before. Yes, these are helping me tremendously, and they're not easy for everyone to find. But farts in a jar are selling, guys. Okay, there's a price point and a market for farts in a jar. Look it up if you don't believe me. Exactly the way I said it. Now, as gross as that sounds, that's reality. Okay. And even though there's like 6 or 7 farts in a jar that have sold in the last 90 days, that's a market. Now, you can do your research to see if the market's improved or changed or gotten better or gotten worse for farts in a jar over the last 3 years. But that is an actual thing. And if you price your item low enough, no matter what you have in your store, you're going to find a market. You're going to hit that market. Now, I'm not saying go to rock bottom for your item if you're not making any sales, but you have to be realistic. If you're asking $100 for an item and it's been in your store forever and it ain't going nowhere, don't go to 99 cents, but continually lower your prices until you start selling those things. That's what I did with these toilet seats. And until you start finding your market and then evaluate your market, is this something I need to buy again? Or is this something I need to hold off until things with the economy get better and maybe buy something different? Do your research. Make sure you're using tools like product research, otherwise known as Terra Peak, that's on your app when you're out and about. There's a lot of people who don't want to do it because it makes them look kind of a certain way when they're out and about, but you need to take the time if you're making bad buys, because this is going to save your butt. Now, for me, it's just not playing poker while I'm doing my sourcing. That's a lesson learned. But for many of you guys, it's not as simple as that. And you got to figure out what it is about the items that you're selling that's not selling. I'm telling you, it may be the colorway, like these toilet seats. Don't buy blue and orange toilet seats to resell, because people usually don't like the colorways, but it's probably the price. And I'm willing to bet, and some of you guys are so caught up on your price that you're getting your own way. Okay. And so that's my advice to you. Take it for what it's worth. I got to tell you, you can sell whatever you want and make money in this business, and it ain't going to be always the best money, especially when times are hard with the economy. That's another factor that's holding a lot of people back. That's making you do this that 2 or 3 years ago you didn't have to do, even with inflation, because inflation seems to touch eBay sellers. We can't bring our prices up with inflation. It just doesn't seem like we're there. People are coming to eBay to find the deals, right? So if we start raising our prices, then it kind of wipes out the benefit of having a lot of these used items or open boxed items, or, people come to eBay, let's just face it, to get a deal. So things I want you to think about, but there's a reason why. And I've said this before, there's always an answer. There's a reason why you're not making sales. And there's a reason why she keeps laughing at me. And that's fine. She can keep laughing at me.
I'm not laughing
You
at
always
you.
do this.
I'm laughing at the people commenting on your farts in a jar.
But
why do you have to use that as an example?
Because it's an extreme
we were
example.
7 minutes in and you already went off the rails.
But it ain't about going off the rails. It's about making my point with an extreme example. So I mean, I guess I could have said baseball cards, but there, you know, I mean, that's kind of a boring example. Gets people to like, did he just say farts in a jar? Yes, I said farts in a jar. Farts in a jar. If you go and look it up on eBay right now, look up the 90-day solds. I think there's like 7 or 8 people who lost their damn mind and bought a fart in a jar. And here we go again. And I just gotta understand that I'm going to keep this thing running in the background. We're working this out, by the way. Yeah, we're working this out, by the way. I told you guys I was going to have something today, like some sound effects and some all this stuff. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. I spent a lot of time going down a rabbit hole, and I had my computer in a state where I couldn't even get the microphone and the sound working properly, trying to reroute all these sounds and stuff. So I'm putting that on the shelf for now. I've decided that I'm going to work on some of the production on the live, but it's going to start with the intro and the outro kind of things. And we'll have that here hopefully very, very soon. I was working on that like an hour before the show, going down that rabbit hole, but that seemed to be a little bit more promising for the live. So always trying to make it better, a cooler thing. And that's, I think we're going to get there. So,
but there's no promises as to when it's going to happen.
No promises. It won't be on Friday, by the way, because we're going on our trip going on our trip to California. Surprise. We're taking the dogs with us, and we're going to the beach. We're not taking them to the beach, are we? No. They're going to be stuck in their crate. I
would have no fun.
Yeah, that's just nuts. So, guys, that's kind of the reality with what we do. We can't be on every live. Even we try. I think we strive for consistency on this channel to get the lives in. We might do a live on Thursday night. I haven't decided, but because I'm not here on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I really feel the need to get extra stuff done with the same amount of time, and that means that I may not have time to mess with the live on Thursday, and I don't want to. I don't want to be my own cause of my sales falling down. I mean, we had a solid week. We're at one point almost $16,000 for the last 30 days. That went down to like a little over 15, I believe. So things are solid, and a lot of merchandise still on hand. And just picked up another pallet. Picked up a pallet of I think it was like $4,000 MSRP for $150. So you can't beat that. And when you find deals like that, you're going to jump on that all day long. So let's see who we have with us today. We got Jovial Jugglers with us. Thanks for being here. Just traveling along, singing our song side by side. Anyone notice Primo's burr, burr, burr machine sound effects in the Mint Mobile commercial? You know what? That's all over the place. Even some of the places I've been researching, that's a fairly common, I think, royalty-free sound effect.
Yeah, I heard it on I was watching YouTube videos the other day, and I heard it on, I don't know what it was on, but it was on something. It wasn't on a commercial because we don't have commercials on our YouTube. But I don't know maybe I was watching Netflix.
Maybe.
That could have been it. Yeah,
you used to have commercials on your YouTube. What happened?
I used to. Yeah. And then my amazing husband allowed me to have a commercial-free YouTube.
Finally get some credit.
Yeah.
We got Keith Pitko. Thanks for being here. Pitko is guessing this is last live till next Monday. That's a good guess, actually. That's a good guess. Eagles Can Fly is here. Thanks for being here. Jerry Johnson says I'm way early, making up for last week being late. Well, thank you. Hopefully you're still with us. A lot of you guys leaving comments before the show, which is awesome. Mark Suddick says, hi, all. eBay should put some king seller penalty for the ones that do not reply questions about listing, and sellers that do not reply to buyers after a sale when there's a problem should get a suspension. It's not a good look. I don't know about a suspension. I definitely think that we talked about this before. Mercari has a badge they have for fast responder. If you're not, so there's a metric, there's a way they can measure this you don't need a button or a badge, but maybe encode that into badges. Encode that into the account health. So now you have a track record of not replying in a timely manner versus seller who does. You have the same item that they're looking for, maybe a lot of things are similar. Maybe rank the seller higher. That's that has a better account health, and they do that now in many cases. But I don't think that is in the equation. What you've suggested, I think it should be. Coppercat says hello from Arkansas. John, Jenna, and the rest of the gang. Thanks for being here. Nice to see you. We got James here. Says this comment will self-destruct in 20 minutes. No, wait, never mind. It was just gas. Well, that's good. Don't eat chili before the show.
Don't let it go to waste. Put it in a jar.
You know, it's funny. You get these. I get these. I have my neighbors app that neighbors will. I gotta put my hands down. Neighbors will send a message on the neighbors app and saying, "Oh, was that gunshots?" or "I heard a loud explosion." And I'm so tempted to say, "Oh, sorry, I just had chili."
You should.
I'm so tempted to reply because it's ridiculous. I mean, every day,
every 5 minutes, guys. It's no joke. These people, they hear, a hose moving in the rocks.
And I got to tell you,
everything is a boom or a loud something.
Nobody knows how to keep their damn pets inside their house either. Every day, it's like 5 posts. Oh, Charlie's missing, or Rufus is gone, and my heart's broken. Well, come on, really?
I mean, we've had messages about turtles being missing.
Chicken,
bunnies,
someone's
chickens.
Chicken. It says like my chicken's missing.
Yeah.
No lie.
And
had a photo of it
every day.
And I wanted to say, well, stop choking the damn thing and it won't run away. But I didn't say that. Gail says, Mark, what about the buyers who ask the question you answer and never hear a peep out of them after that? No, thank you or anything.
Yeah. Those are annoying too.
But eBay holds the sellers at a higher standard, and they should, right? This is our livelihood. We need to be in the messages every day. We need to be on top of our messages. Buyers don't have to be. And buyers, I mean, other than getting messages from eBay, they rarely get messages from other sellers. I mean, yeah, if they just bought something, but if I'm buying something, I'm not trying to have a full-blown conversation or friendship with the person that's selling to me. Yeah, maybe they need to get a hold of me if there's a problem with the item, but that shouldn't even be. As a seller, that person should have their act together. I bought it. My address is fine. Send it. We're done. But, it is what it is. Ping G says, happy Monday, John, Jenna, and the chat.
Hello,
thanks for being
Ping.
Here.
Callie Debs.
Callie Debs. We'll be out your neck of the woods this weekend.
Yes, we will.
Biscuit Bud. What's going on? I want to go there. Yes. So, Callie Debs, if you're in the Burbank area, I don't know what time we're going to be there, but I'm almost certain we're going to go to that. What is that place called? I don't even know.
Geez, we do this every time.
Yeah. It can't be that great if I can't remember the name. Andy says, I'm early. I got another 25 minutes. Well, that was 22 minutes ago. So maybe you're still here. Grandma Mary's Attic says, happy Monday, FA fam. Thanks for being here, Grandma Mary. Nice to see you. Got Victor Wawiorka says, hello all. Flip It Good says, happy Monday. We have Chastity with us. And Samantha Hunter says, hello all. How's it going? Good evening, John and Jenna.
Hello, hello, hello.
Shanna Anhalt says, hello, how are you guys? I think we're doing good. Is it me? Or does it seem like the older you get, the faster your day just flies? I'm trying to get stuff done, and I think I got a decent amount of stuff done, but it's like you look at the clock and it's like, oh crap, I didn't even send a notification for this live yet. So I had to get, stop what I'm doing, get the live put together. And it just seems like time goes by so much faster every day, every week. Venom says, yay, John and Jenna back again. Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we're back again.
Let's see. Jackie's with us. Thanks for being here, Jackie
Hi,
Bleckner.
Jackie.
Henri Squaw says, howdy, John, Jenna, and FA chat.
Howdy, howdy.
And we found Kevin. He happens to be in Lakeland, Florida. Thanks for being here. National Potato Day?
Potato Day.
I don't know about that.
Why? That could be French fries. It could be hash browns. It could be mashed potatoes.
Sounds like work. I don't know. We just got a new air fryer. We had one that was just kind of. This is the way we roll.
Is what it was.
When you buy Liquidation and you get a lot of these appliances, you're like, ooh, a new air fryer, right? Or we didn't even have one in operation. We weren't even using air fryer. We just throw the oven on. But we're like, okay, well, let's try this air fryer thing. I got one here in the liquidation. It's an open box. Looks new. Let's use it. And after about 6 months, the thing started going out. It got too hot. Like if you tried to go 400 degrees for anything more than a couple minutes, the thing would shut off. And I'm like, well, this sucks. So I got another one. I got a Ninja, which is like almost like a toaster oven kind of look to it. And it has the basket. It has all this stuff. That thing works a lot better.
I love it. And I don't normally eat chicken strips, but I ate some the other day in this new machine, and they were fire.
Andre Squaw says, I won a radio contest today. I'm so excited.
How cool.
You know,
well, how did you win, and what did you win?
I've got a story.
I want to know.
I've got a story.
I don't care about your
this sucks.
Stupid radio.
Back in the day, I used to call these radio stations. Like, well, there's really one. It's the KGGI in Southern California.
99.1 KGGI.
Yes. And I would call, and this is like back in the 90s, right? So I've won tickets to concerts. I've won CDs back in the day when CDs were a thing. And one time they had this little contest, and I got on the air, and I had just bought a cordless phone. It just came out, a cordless phone. And
you're just digging yourself into a age
so
bracket.
They said, well, this little deal is you have to listen, like they'll name a prize, right? And then after that, you say stop, and the prize after that is what you win, right? Like, oh, okay, cool. So he's getting me all ready to go on air, and then all of a sudden, this damn cordless phone cuts out, and then I'm like, what the hell? So I'm listening to the radio station. Well, we don't know what happened to John, but we're going to let some other yahoo come on here and do it. And I kind of played along in my mind. I said stop in my mind, and I kind of said it out loud, but I was pissed still. Would have hit $1,000, but I didn't win nothing because my phone cut out. So that was horrible. I used to do that all the time. It used to really do well.
Isn't that how you won your Taylor Swift tickets?
No, I won those tickets because my buddy Jeff Garazzo invited us to this bowling event. It's like they had the radio station there, and they had a Sea-Doo on display, and you fill out a little ticket, and then they pull people's names who are there at this event, and they're like, oh, you won a CD. Oh, you won this. So it was kind of wrapping up, and they said, okay, we got another drawing, or last drawing. They drew my name, and I'm like, oh crap. So I go up there, and like, we're going to have to wait for this because we're going to have to go on live for that. I look over my shoulder, I see a Sea-Doo, and I'm thinking, oh, cool. I got me a new Sea-Doo, right? And I don't listen to country music. And they're like, hey, well, we got our winner here, our grand prize winner for 2 all expenses paid tickets to the CMA Awards in Las Vegas. And I just had this blank look on my face, and they're like, don't you understand what you just won? Not really, because I was focused on that damn Sea-Doo. I don't know what the hell they had it parked there for. So ended up going. I met Taylor Swift. They had like a private 20
I wouldn't
person.
admit that at all if I were you.
But she took my mojo. That's why I talk about it. Because ever since that meeting, her career like took off. So, but there's some fans here. I don't want to piss anyone off. I have no problem with Taylor Swift, but I know she just stole my mojo. That's Jovial says, followed by National Soft Ice Cream Day. Go get yourself a cone. Soft serve
ice cream.
Depends. It depends. Some of those places they don't. It's like it doesn't agree with my stomach. Like McDonald's ice cream,
Sizzler.
Soft serve. No,
soft serve.
Well, that's ice milk.
Horrendous.
That's ice milk.
That's not even. You can't even categorize that as ice cream. It's ice milk. It's disgusting.
Samantha likes your hair.
Oh, thank you.
And
thank you.
The volume is good with the.
No, my volume in my hair.
Okay. See, Kevin can hear us.
Got a new oil.
Diamond Roy is excited about Q4. That is a question, and I am hopeful for Q4.
We're kind of. I don't want to jinx it, but we're a little nervous for Q4 because Q4 for us last year was.
Well, terrible. Couple that with the I really don't think that Q4 is going to be a good Q4 for a lot of sellers. I'll just put it out. My thoughts. I am hopeful that I'm 100% wrong here, but come next month, the Fed is going to be lowering interest rates, and the whole idea behind raising them all this time was to calm down inflation. So now you lower them, and that's not good. It's going to make things go crazy again. And I just am kind of concerned. I'm not an economist, but I do listen to some shows and stuff. I'm just not bullish when it comes to Q4, and I'm hopeful that I'm 100% wrong. Now, I think Basket Noodle said something about how the retail sector is saying they're going to be super, super aggressive with deals, right? So,
I'll take deals.
But that's not us. That's not us. Unless you are the super, super aggressive seller in your eBay store giving out great deals. We're talking like Black Friday. You're not going to be able to compete with nobody because those sales are going to be like just crazy from what I understand. I think we all benefit when prices are high at retail because people are like, I ain't paying that. I'll just go to eBay, right? But when prices are good, they're going to stick with the brick and mortar locations. Mm-hmm. Fisher Flip says, Happy Monday, all. Thanks for being here.
Happy Monday.
The Texas Bandits with us.
Well, hello.
And Ping G says, I'm having ice cream right now. Moose Tracks.
Moose Tracks. That's one of my faves.
Moose Tracks.
Like that one.
Jovial Juggler says, loving the hairdo, Jenna.
Well, thank you.
We got Mike Dixie Flipper says, hi, FAA family. This week was good and had sales go up. I only hope this will be better as things go on.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think sales are there still. Look, I'm not that optimistic about Q4, but I do know that right now we're coming off of our best week, and that was coming off of our best week before that. So sales are really good for us. And
so wait, so you're telling me this was the bestest week?
Yeah. And I was trying to get this stupid account to come up, but for whatever reason, when you sign in or you sign out and you go to a different account, it seems it wants to go back to, I was in her account and it didn't want to pop up, but let's see if it works this time. I think it worked. So as far as the numbers are concerned, and unfortunately eBay is slow today, the numbers are pretty strong. We're at $16,001 the last 31 days. We must have had a sale before the show yesterday, and I told her we were going to have a slow day today. Anybody want to guess what I made on Sunday yesterday? If I'm expecting a slow day today, what did I make yesterday? If you said $1,000, you are correct. We had an $1,100, $1,150. So we made yesterday. Now, granted, 650 of that or $700 of that was in one item. That was the stereo, but still a solid day. Today, 282. So we still have the rest of the afternoon and evening for people to buy. Last 7 days, just a shade under 4,000.
I was going to tell you that stereo that we sold, the Alpine, that's the same stereo I had in my truck when I was a teenager.
No, it isn't. You didn't have that particular stereo.
I had an Alpine that looked very similar. It was not that one, no.
There's no way it could have looked similar because this one is those Alpines that it takes one DIN, which means one slot in the stereo, and it had like a big 10-inch screen that pops out. They didn't have those kind of stereos.
I did.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, then you're ahead of the game because I don't remember that.
I did.
Mike Gertis says, good evening. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
Let's see. Fisher Flip says, I'm only clothing seller and the market changes weekly.
Yeah.
It does. It changes within the seasons. It changes all the time. So like right now, you might have a lot of things that you bought for summer that you weren't able to sell over the summer. I don't know if that's a hot item like shorts and tank tops and swimsuits. Yeah, you'll sell those things, but I don't know if they're necessarily going to be hot items as compared to maybe in the spring when you're selling those items. So the markets change all the time.
I mean, you can still buy swimsuits all year long and shorts. And I mean, it's a climate thing. It depends on where you are and where you're going. You could be somebody that vacations in what we call the winter, and yet in other places it's hot.
But with reselling, you're dealing with numbers. So yes, there's going to be a percentage of people who are still looking for shorts and tank tops, but that number is going down in favor of the more fall to winter type clothing. And I think the mistake that a lot of people do, they hear me say, okay, use your 90-day sold comps. So they're going back and going, wow, June, July, August, these shorts and tank tops sold great. High sell-through rate. Let me buy them. And we're coming up into September, you might find that that was a mistake. So using Terapeak to kind of go back and look at how clothing kind of does this and focus on what does well, you know, in the fall, winter right now is what you should be looking at. Yeah. Ping is sharing some medical information, but she has ice cream only every few days.
Ask John how many days a week he has ice cream.
I have ice cream somewhere around that.
No, you lie. You're such a liar. It's every
approximately.
Day.
Henri Squaw says the camera wants us to make sure and like and subscribe.
Yeah,
yes,
he
please.
said that when we zoomed in.
Let's see. Mike Sellers with us. Hello, John, Jenna, and chat. Happy Monday.
Hello.
Thanks for being here and thanks for being a member. Hopefully you got your camera because we want to get that live. We're going to do it next month for the members. Get that round table going. Jovial says, bat in the cave, bat in the cave.
Yeah, she was joking around.
Oh.
She was saying you had a bat in your cave.
Bat in the cave?
When you zoomed in.
Oh, okay. She's about to pick my nose just now. Midwest Picker says, hey, everyone. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh. Don't do that. Ferret Fan says, good evening. Actually, good afternoon, FA family. Speaking of the shower shitter chairs, this reminded me of the viral video that some lady said, everyone shits in the shower. Comments were all like, no, we don't.
No.
No.
That's foul.
Now, maybe she bought one of my chairs, and after that first experience where she did everything at once, maybe she's like, this is kind of where it's at. You have to be, everyone's got to be here. Maybe she meant that. Venom says, John, Jenna, happy to see y'all again. Thanks for being here.
Well, nice to see you, Venom.
Junk Trader says, I am doing it all wrong. LOL. I don't know if you are or not. I mean, look.
No, she's talking about the shower sitter.
But, well, or maybe because I was on my tangent about the reason why people are having a hard time with sales. I don't know. I mean, just giving a general blanket statement doesn't apply to everyone, but it does apply in many situations on a lot of the stores that I've looked at. People have reached out, and that's the first thing you think of. It's like, wow, you look at an item and then you go and start looking at the sold comps and you're like, wow, you're really far off where you should be. And it's because the market's changed more than likely from the time they originally bought it. Samantha says, John, I have to check out the early morning chat so I can get a feel for your intro, but I get the gist of what you're saying, though. That is what I'm saying. Eagles Can Fly says, it's funny how Jenny was laughing every time you said farts in a jar. And it's an extreme example, right? I guess you can pull up any extreme
can't
idea.
Think of anything else, Sam. You?
I mean, there's things, but I mean, I haven't done the research to be able to know that item's selling. Dark Horse says price controls are supposed to happen. How will that affect eBay? This feels like a disaster for all industries. Well, that won't happen. If it does happen, it probably won't happen until next year. And a lot of that depends on the whole political side of things and this, that, and the other thing. And it's a lot more than just one person. But there is a mindset out there that if you buy water and you're, let's say, in a storm zone where water is scarce, right? And you can't find water anywhere. And you're like, okay, got these bottled waters. I can sell them for $5 a pop. This is Beard's example, but it makes total sense. That you're gouging, you're playing off of supply and demand and a low demand. So that brings up the price, which is what capitalism is. But yet you're sort of doing it at the detriment of somebody else who really needs that water. Maybe didn't plan well, right? And so they don't want you to price gouge. They call it price gouging. But I guess then if you're saying that's price gouging, when let's say video cards, I'll use that as an example, used to be very easy and somewhat inexpensive to buy as in relation to the other components in the computer. Now to buy a good video card, it's like $1,000, $1,500. And it's like, well, what about the people who actually need this? You're depriving that person of an affordable, good video card because of what? Supply and demand, like a shortage of components. But you know what? You shouldn't be so there's an argument to both sides. I believe that if you do the work, you have foresight, you go out and buy the stuff, and you're able to find something that has demand, you should be rewarded for that. And we shouldn't be catering to people who didn't plan well, no matter what it is, whether it's clothing, food, you name it. That's just the way I look at it. And that's not even looking at it from a reseller standpoint. Samantha says, oh, snap, the Boston John. What brought this new title on? I don't know. The Boston John? I don't know about that title.
Remove the title or remove the comment.
Oh, the Boston John. You did that while I was away. Wow.
I was wondering how long it was going to take for you to notice.
Big Dre says, I was a CNA, and the reason people poop in the shower is because retirement homes usually are understaffed, so they will wait a while before being cleaned. So better to go in the shower and be cleaned.
Oh, that's terrible.
Ooh.
That is absolutely terrible.
Well, Ferret Fan says, wait until I tell my wife her farts just are going to waste. Get a jar, honey. I should make a listing template.
You should.
They're out there. Now, I recall, and I was going to talk about this, I recall the farts in the jar being more expensive. So the price of farts in the jar have gone down tremendously.
Gone down?
They've gone down.
Oh.
It's more affordable.
Inflation's not affecting that?
No, but look, a lot of people have gone down in price just to be able to sell stuff. We're the last ones to be able to pass on inflation to our customers. Samantha says, hey guys, what does your t-shirt say? Well, mine says I was left unsupervised, and that's why
mine says don't be a salty heifer.
Yeah, when you leave me unsupervised, I tend to get
in trouble.
Zachariah says, in my defense, I was left unsupervised. And don't be a duck.
Dick.
No, don't be a salty heifer.
Salty heifer.
Venom says, Jenna, we love when you laugh at John. Yeah, glad you guys love that. Just a guess. How much? How much for what? I don't know.
Farts in a jar.
Farts in a jar? $10, $20, $30, $50. I think, it depends. The ones that are hot, the hot fart in a jar.
Oh my God. Okay.
And then there's the spicy ones.
You're going way too far.
Well, it's a thing. Oh man, made on demand, female fart in a jar, narrative included, authentic fart, $20, and they paid $13.21 shipping. It's just insane. The cam is saying like and subscribe. Yes, I agree. Jerry Johnson says, sit on your hands, John. Let's see. Jovial says, never trust a fart after 50. Just saying. Junk Trader says, farts in a jar, is that better than sharts in a jar? Yeah, I think that's where the line gets crossed. That's like the fecal matter stuff.
Okay.
Probrisita says, now Cassini is going to be sending me farts in a jar type of listings my way. Should have went incognito. I should mess up everyone. Go.
No.
What?
Don't do it.
What?
Don't.
Hey, Alexa, order me a farts in the jar.
One moment. The top result is personalized light when farts candle, 21 cents to choose from. To customize and add to cart, please visit Amazon.
Wow.
There you go. I apologize. John Doe says, I think that Taylor Swift farting in a jar will have great resale value. Her fans are crazy.
Yeah.
Samantha says, enjoy yourself. We'll miss you, but enjoy life. I'm so happy to hear that the little ones get incorporated into the travel too.
Yes.
Let's see. Pitco.
They don't like to travel, but they don't have a choice.
Both you enjoy your little break with family, and John, put that phone down for a bit and enjoy the family time. Will do. Pabrishita. I hope I'm getting that right. You get used to the horn in the way one somehow gets used to a beeping smoke detector, but nobody actually likes that horn sound. You hear that, Primo? If you're out there, there's some people that are put off by that horn sound. I don't know. Venom says, John, Jenna, vacation mode in your store? No. It's what time are we heading out on Friday?
As early as possible.
Okay, so that
I told
means
them we'd be there in the afternoon, and it's Don Cucos.
Don Cucos. Yes, that's where we're gonna go.
Mickey has an ice cream social, so we may not be able to go to Don Cucos. We might be having ice cream instead.
That doesn't sound very healthy.
Neither is Don Cucos.
Okay, so let's see what we have. Silver Hair says, let's get moist. 104 in Texas right now. We're at 106.
Yeah, we're still smoldering over here.
Big Dre says, Poshmark refunded me a week after refunding the buyer, even though they did not return the item. Oh, well, at least I got my money. And that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
If this never happened to where that buyer was opening some kind of case, you would have had your money. Maybe they used the item or the garment to like wash their car. Who cares? They got taken care of. You got taken care of. And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Other than the irritation and maybe the
concern
of like, what the hell is going to happen here, right?
Yeah. I mean, they should have sent you an email letting you know something, but they don't.
Hose should move in rocks.
When I was I couldn't think of anything off the cuff, and I said like a hose, like your hose, like the watering hose.
Okay. We had a missing iguana in our neighborhood messages. Oh yes.
Yeah, we've on that route.
Glenda's with us. Thanks for being here, Glenda.
Hi,
John and Jenna, plus all the great FAE family. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, don't forget to like the stream. I can't think today. My words are not flowing.
They're not flowing
very well. Don't forget to like the stream so that you get your sale.
Yes,
within
you get a sale.
Hours.
We claim that, Primo. I know Primo. There's other channels that try to claim that action.
Sorry, spam.
Yeah, can't claim that action. Yep. You got to claim something else.
Started with us.
How about maybe get power seller status if you hit the like button or something that's like that? Yeah, only OG resellers on eBay will know what a power seller was. Everyone was so remember that back in the day when you're selling on eBay and you can brag to your other reseller friends like, I'm a power seller, and it's like, wow, how do you get to be power seller? And so that was kind of the goal, and that was the top rated seller equivalent type of thing. One other thing I wanted to mention, this came out today in e-commerce bites. Thought it was pretty interesting. The name of the article is Reject Lowball eBay Offers at Your Peril. So essentially what the article was saying was that someone might come to you with, a buyer might come to you with a lowball offer of, let's say, 40% off of your price. And if you just go in and decline and don't interact with them and play their little haggle game, that the buyer will go in and pay full price and leave you a negative feedback saying something like, communication was one way, had to push to get a response, and even then the response didn't offer any options. And it's so I guess it almost feels like it's retaliatory, like a retaliatory just nastiness for some of these buyers who want your item at like nothing. And if you're not willing to give in, then they'll come back at you. And so it led some people that were asked about this to that they just decline and block, so that person can't come back. So don't know if you read that article, but I thought it was pretty interesting nonetheless. Mark Suddick says, stop, hit that like button now if you want more sales. There you go. Duncan,
what did he say?
I missed the start. What did I miss? How's sales, you two? Sales are good. And I think I saw, and I want to know what you guys think, but I saw on Primo's live, people were saying how they had a really good week in sales. So I'm hopeful that you guys are also doing well. Venom says, John, Jenna, eBay does show if a buyer messages back quick. Have you seen the badge yet? It shows it when you click seller name. Not sure if mine shows it. Interesting. So that might have been something that they've changed, but it's been around on Mercari for a long time. Big Dre says, I'm going to sell 2 pairs of Nike tomorrow on Mercari for $225 plus shipping. Basically, buy one, get one free, but the sneaker market is crashing. So I'm happy to move some, and I paid $15 each.
Nice.
So you got your sneakers sold, which is great. This is supposed to be one of the 2 times a year where sneakers sort of peak in the spring around March, April, and usually like end of August into like late September, historically from data that I've seen in the past. I don't know what it's going to be right now, but if you got shoes, get them up, get them sold. Andy says, still here, head above water. There we go. It's that number we were talking about, and I don't recall. I think it's like 80%. Well, 50% of all resellers won't make it past the first year, and then 80% of those people won't make it to year 5 in reselling. So if you're able to make it, you're ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder how many people that make it is because they take the time, they watch the videos, they try to improve their business, and the ones that don't are on eBay Island and they're trying to make it work. They're trying to use common sense to make it work, and eBay isn't loaded with common sense. So you're without advice from others, you may find it hard to make it work.
Sadly, I think the world has lost common sense.
Duncan says, yes, John, the days sure go very fast as you get older. In my 50s, 1 week seems like a day. Well, that's actually, about right, really. I mean, that's why the days don't really mean much to me. Like, okay, Saturday, I don't have to ship, right? Maybe I work a little less.
Shipping, so.
No, but I have to pick the stuff and get it ready for you, right? So I know that certain days, of course, are different than others, but it seems like they all mesh together when you get to be a certain age. And then, you're not, it used to be you're working the 5 days, Monday through Friday, and you're looking forward to the weekends.
Yeah,
and
everybody's like, oh, yay, it's Friday. And we're like, wait, it's Friday already?
Yeah. Big Dre says, I sold a pair of boots today for $140. I definitely do better selling those versus sneakers.
Nice.
And you probably will start doing better now because people are starting to buy the boots, right? Ditching the
Speaking
sandals.
of boots, we need to get more of ours up, the hiking boots.
Yes, we got a bunch to get up.
It's going to be the season.
JRKR 1964 says, got my sale. Yes,
Yay,
that's good to hear. Jay Corona says, hello. Thanks for being here, Jay Corona. Venom says, John, where can I go to view Amazon return pallets and other return pallets? Thinking about getting into it, but unsure where to start. People say Amazon, but I can't find any. So I would say, number one, stay off of Marketplace. You're going to find a lot of scammers on Facebook Marketplace that are going to offer you like crazy deal, $100 and you can come get a pallet, right? And then you find out you get scammed. So stay away from that.
It looks like it's a legit company and it's, this big run corporate thing, but it's not. Don't fall for it.
So what I would suggest to start trying is try liquidationmap.com, and it will give you something you can search for: auctions, bin stores, flea markets, liquidation, retail, liquidation services, or they have a map somewhere. They changed the site a little bit. So they do have a map on here that allows you to take your location and like zoom in and find liquidators in your area. So like if you're Beard and you're in Alabama, you click on Alabama.
Where is Beard?
He's in Alabama.
No.
Well, I don't know where he's at, but you can actually go in now. It'll show you the map for Alabama, and you can just zoom in, and a lot of different options there. That's a starting point. But also go online, do a Google search. There's liquidators online. You can go on, bid on their stuff, and then you just have to pay the cost of freight.
Why don't you put the link?
Okay, go liquidationmap.com. There it is. I put it in the chat for you guys. Samantha says, no, John, it's not you. The time is definitely starting its weirdness in this time of life. I wake up at 5 a.m. for the last half year, can't return to sleep. A couple days ago, it's like I couldn't sleep. It was on like Wednesday morning, I believe. I couldn't sleep, so I just got up and did some stuff, jumped on Beard's live, right? But it's, I don't know what it is. Now, it didn't help that I had a rib that went out. If anybody's had that situation where in your back, like lower, like mid back, like a rib like goes out of place. And I had this roller thing that I bought the last time it happened, and all that does is bruise me up.
Yeah, he looks like I beat him. Well, I did not.
Venom says, John, Jenna, do you ever get nervous when sales are slow since this is your full-time gig? like you talk about the chairs and the other item you have that doesn't sell, you mentioned would be stressed. Yeah, it does get stressful. It's more stressful depending on how much money you have in the bank. Now, I'm not saying we're millionaires by any stretch, but we do have some cushion so that if things kind of go down, we're, maybe the sales get cut in half or whatever, we can still make it work. We have other things that we do on the side, not YouTube related, that is part of the business, not eBay related. And it's through having contacts and stuff like that. That's all helpful and everything. You got to find what works for you. 2 years ago, we were in panic mode, and we had to say, look, this is our full-time gig, but we need to supplement the income. And we both went out. We're doing like Uber Eats. You guys know the story. And that's where it's stressful, because you're wondering, okay, good, I made $150 driving for 6 hours. That's pretty solid. Hopefully Jenna did the same, and find out that she only worked for 2 hours and made $30. And it's like, oh my goodness. So it got stressful, right?
Yeah.
Probishita, you know what? Someone shoot me.
Probrasita.
I won Santana tickets off the radio when he was that residency in Vegas at the Hard Rock.
How cool.
That is very, very cool.
Oh, wait. Henri Squad says what?
Enter the word to win on their app. Won a trip to Vegas to see Carrie Underwood with airfare and hotel. Still working out details.
Ooh, you'll have to let us know when you go.
So I bought tickets. So I'm going concert crazy. I need to not, but I did.
Well, I hate to tell you, but we have our, yearly girls concert trip.
When's that?
We haven't planned it yet,
Well,
but it's to be determined. We need to know what artists are going to be playing in the summer next year.
So I was talking to Beard, and his buddy Harlan out there in Alabama was telling me a couple weeks ago, hey, we're going out to Vegas, and Usher's going to be in town on the 15th. He's doing like a world tour or whatever. I'm like, I didn't know he was in town. So I went and checked it out, and we got pretty good tickets. But I thought, you know what? She doesn't really care for Usher so much. I have my childhood best friend who doesn't resell. He's in California. I reached out to him, and I said, hey, let's go to a concert. Come on out my treat, right? So he's on the fence. He doesn't know if he's going to be able to make it. But I did see a local concert out here in Vegas that you got Keith Sweat, Silk, and Blackstreet. And I'm like, I got to go. This is like 90s R&B for me. And so she's like, I guess I'll go with you. She's not all excited, but that's on in 2 weeks.
I mean, I'll know all the words to the songs because yes, I do. Because that was the music growing up. But I'm a country girl. I mean, I listen to everything, most everything. But that is really, if I were to pay money for a concert, it's definitely not going to be that.
Honor Squad, we know that she, okay.
But Carrie Underwood, I would love to go to.
John Doe says, as a dude, I'd never admit to going to a Taylor Swift concert. It wasn't a Taylor Swift concert. It was a special event, is what it was labeled as. And basically it was like 20 people, like I guess other radio stations gave away like these prizes. And it was like must have been a small ballroom
award.
Yeah, it was the actual CMA. The event was a CMA Awards where they come out and play their songs. It was Carrie Underwood's first year of like performing at the CMAs, and but yeah, it was just that. It was cool for someone who doesn't like country. It was a cool event. And then walking by, who's that? Was it Trace Atkins? I had to get up and use the restroom during the concert or the CMA Awards. And as I was walking back, some tall cowboy walked by me and said, hey, how you doing? How's it going?
That would have been so freaking cool.
And
he's like, I don't even know who that is.
Do you know who the hell that was? No, just some tall cowboy. I don't know these people.
That would have been
Venom.
So cool.
Says John is 40% feedback rate.
I wasn't around back then, just an FYI.
Yeah, that was when life was hard. You want to talk about hard times? And I wasn't in a good place back then. Venom says, John is a 40% feedback rate good. Feel like that's insanely good. I've sold 325 items and have 129 positives. That's great, isn't it? Also have 40 followers. I'm sure your numbers aren't 40%. I think you're looking at it as from those who
saying 40% of his items.
yeah, 40% of the people, that's about right as far as the number of people who leave you positive. Most people don't bother. Look, I got my item. It looks good. It fills a need. I'm done. I ain't playing this social game on eBay to, rate the item. Now eBay wants you to critique the item itself, and now it's just too much. And I don't blame people for not wanting to be a part of all that. So I would look at the number, make sure you're over 98% of positive feedback.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you want to strive
But all
for.
the other stuff really doesn't matter. I mean, yes, it's great to have followers because those people could be repeat buyers, but I wouldn't put all your weight in it.
Larry Todd says, I thought you were going to say you want a date with a hot chick named Jenna on the radio. No, I didn't.
No.
And I really had irritated. Now, what would you guys do? The friend that invited me to that event, that bowling event where I won the tickets, right? He was like, how come you're not taking me? I'm the one that invited you, right? And then, or you're at the time, your current wife. In hindsight, I made a mistake. I should have took my buddy. Let's see. Pitco, did you hear that Taylor Swift stole John's mojo? Yeah, she's heard that many times.
That's been for 15 years now. That's been told.
Venom says, John, oh my God, just looked it up. And speaking of T Swift, she has a fart in a jar that's sold.
No,
I don't know. Maybe that's not authentic. Maybe eBay needs to have an authenticity for farts in a jar. No, that don't smell like Taylor to me.
Oh my God.
We're sending that back.
Disgusting.
The crazy cards is Taylor stole your mojo. You could have been the one up there singing in tights. No, when I say mojo, it's like I think maybe I could have done something bigger and better than what I did, at the time when I was working at Amtrak, Samantha Hunter says, in my community, there was a Whole Food market. They had a raffle and I won a green bamboo bowl. Ooh. Put snacks and such into the bowl. Nice.
Ooh, I like those bowls.
And you have a story to tell for that bowl.
Yeah.
The crazy cards with us, and Duncan VR says Q4 no difference. Every month is Q4 for me.
I know you're the king.
And
Duncan.
And generally my Q4 the last couple of years has been the summer. That's been us. That's been our strong months. And I just don't know why. I can't explain why. A lot of people can point to, well, you have Christmas, Hanukkah, you've got all these different events happening, holidays happening in Q4 where people are buying stuff for other people, and that should help retail. That's why a lot of people can point to that and say that's the time of year that they're really ramping up for. But the last couple of years, it just hasn't been like that for us. Mike Sellers has just got a return request.
Oh,
you must have hit the like button on Primo's live. Sorry, Primo. I got to give you something to have them hit the like button for.
That's terrible.
Jovial says returns have been cray this month.
Oh no.
So
I mean, we had about 2 weeks, 3 weeks worth of like back to back return. I have a return that's coming back as well.
I want you guys to start looking at returns in a different light. I know we talk about returns in a joking way, but returns are a symptom of one thing. Returns are a symptom of having good sales. If you ain't selling anything, you ain't getting a return. No one's returning nothing because you haven't sold nothing. So the more sales you get, the likelihood you're going to get returns. So when you get a return, you know what? It sucks. It really sucks. You feel a certain kind of way, like, wow, I presented the item good. There's no reason why. I tested it out. Everything looks good. And when it happens, you just got to deal with it. And I almost had a return today. This is the second time. These people, they don't know how to use the damn lawnmower. I sold that lawnmower, the electric one with that takes the batteries, and there's a safety key in with the batteries.
Again with the safety key?
Oh, and so he's like, you didn't include the safety key. At least he knew to look for one. And I'm like, no, I not only included one, I had to have tested it, and I wouldn't have sold it if the thing didn't work, and it can't work without a safety key.
Was somebody pounding on the door?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And see, the thing doesn't chime like it.
I know.
Something's wrong. I'm going to go buy a ring. Forget being cheap on the doorbell.
Yeah,
finally.
Well, that's what happens when you...
So the the guy's like, yeah, you didn't include one. So I'm online trying to find a replacement going, well, it's only going to cost me $20 to send him a replacement little key. It's like an orange little 2-prong thing that plugs in. And I couldn't find one. So I said to him, I said, look, you're going to have to open a return because I can't find one. And then he came back and said, oh, I found it. It was stuck underneath something. And I'm like, how's that even possible? You can't lose the key like that. Who knows? Maybe he was fishing for a partial refund. But nonetheless, the point being with all that conversation is I expect returns. I expect returns. If I don't get a return on a day, fine. But if I do, it's not going to ruin my day. I know that it's a symptom, or for lack of a better term, it's a side effect of actually having sales. And so embrace the returns, guys. Big Dre says, same here, over $200 in returns. Find Good Treasure says, how y'all doing today? Having a good day selling on eBay? Okay. A lot of my sales tend to happen in the evenings. I don't know why. I think people just start thinking, you know what, I could use a toilet seat. I could have had a better day if I would have had one, and they decide to buy. I don't know. But I get a lot of sales in the evenings. Hill Valley Vintage says, would you rather see Angels win a World Series or Raiders win a Super Bowl? Angels. My sport has always been baseball, a little bit more so than football, and a little bit more so than basketball, the Lakers, right? So Angels, Raiders, Lakers has always been my thing. But Angels, I'm more into, I will follow Angels. I'm like Beard when it comes to his Alabama team. He's into that like year round, the football team. I'm into my Angels all year round, following, all the transactions and stuff. So definitely Angels. Tommy Z says, great to see you both. Glad I made it to this live. Well, nice to see you, and glad that you made it. Chastity says, got an email from eBay yesterday that they canceled an order because a suspicious buyer no longer on the platform. 2 hours later, it showed the order was still waiting payment. Wait and see, I guess. Chances are you're not getting paid. You'd rather have that. The perfect time to get that message from eBay is after the item has been shipped, because they tell you we're canceling the transaction and we're going to give you back your fees. And I never checked when they did that to me if they actually gave me back the fees, but it's like, fine, you're telling me that if it was shipped, don't worry about it. Fine. And it never turned out to be a problem. And you're going to give me my fees back? Now, I'm thinking that's what happened. And that should be what's happening here for you. I don't think they're going to allow the buyer to pay because they have a problem with that buyer. Jovio says, I won a trip in a paddy wagon when I was younger for being stupid. Oh, man, just to think back in the days when you were young, right? And some of the stupid mistakes that some of us have made. Larry Todd, cha-ching, love that. He's always seemed to get a sale when he's on this live, when he hits the like button. I don't know why. Share the wealth a little bit. There's some others that want that sale. Duncan says, I got too many buyers with surname Smith. I nearly mixed them up. That seems to be a common one. I think that's like the second or third most common last name is Smith. Helo's World Railroad Reseller says, I have a harder time of selling clothes in the middle of the season. I'm not really a big clothing seller, though. We don't really get a lot of clothing. We have literally a bin of like clothing that I need to do something with. Our squaw made her sale. Nice.
Awesome.
Dark Horse's mom just got a FaceTime call in the kitchen. Before it connected, it showed a tile floor that neither party has. Oh, that's interesting.
That's weird.
Helo's World Railroad says, buy flannels now. You'll be glad you did.
Yeah.
If it's available, if you got them, when it comes to clothing, I think the 90-day sold comps are something I would avoid. I'd look at the TreeCat tool, product research. Duncan says, only eat chocolate ice cream. Yum, yum. We have some chocolate ice cream. Got Craig's with us. Land Shark Picker, verified. Anissa is doing it all wrong. I think when it comes to certain things, we can all point to something and say, yeah, I could do that better. But really, if you're struggling with sales, I've said this before, there's usually an answer. And that may sound like just an asinine thing to say, because maybe you feel like you've tried everything. But I promise you, there's an answer. There is an answer. Now, maybe it's not the answer you want. Like maybe I'm trying to sell this item for 40 when you should be selling it for 25. But I promise you, there's an answer. Your items have value. I just think some people think that their items are more valuable than they are. Venom says, John, Jenna promised me that we would all do a crime show members only. Have you watched all 25 seasons of Law and Order SVU?
No. That's one I don't. I watch real true crime.
Yeah. It's something about like the scripted ones that it's like, it's
not as interesting.
Junk Trader says, Todd, you owe me some cha-chings on the morning show. I'm doing a chargeback as we speak. Let's see. Got Big Dre says, I have a lot of photos and descriptions that need work. That alone has been keeping me busy. But it's always a good thing to do. Now, Hilo's World Railroad Reseller, is this a name change? Because I saw that Craig referred to you as Chris. So is this the Chris that we know in Texas? Big Dre says, a lot of photos and descriptions that need to work. That alone has been keeping me busy. Yep, and I'm reworking as I do my end item sell similar. I'm going through and I'm changing the way my descriptions look. I'm changing it to the format that I've added recently. And hey, if sales keep coming in, I guess it works. John Doe likes Klondike. Mm-hmm. Awesome. I just don't like they don't have a stick. As weird as that sounds, I don't like getting the chocolate on my hand, and I don't like the chocolate melting in the wrapper. Right? That's just an annoyance to me. It's a waste of the chocolate. And it causes me to anybody do this with their this is so bad. You guys are learning too much about me. You get like a Klondike bar, or you get like the chocolate covered like vanilla ice cream that has like that chocolatey outside coating, and I will eat the chocolate before I even touch the ice cream. So I'll eat all the chocolate and then I'll eat the ice cream on the inside. Same thing with the Klondike bar. But when you do that, because there's no stick, it's just a mushy ice cream mess because there's no chocolate to hold it together.
You're supposed to eat it all together.
That's not the way I've always done.
Because you're weird.
I am weird. I'll eat a Snickers bar the same way, believe it or not. Chastity says, I had a cancellation after Todd's show this morning. Oh, that's no good. Nature Made in Utah.
Blame Todd. Tell him to take that sale that he just got and give you a refund.
Nature Made in Utah says sales have been pretty steady for 6 months, averaging 200 to 250 a week net profits. Nice little emergency fund now.
That's awesome.
Venom says, John, update on my active listings number not matching what my store shows. eBay says it's a known issue and not to call back about it since they're on it. I was first to call them about it. eBay blows sometimes. Yeah. That's funny. It's like, you know what? Will you stop calling us? That you're calling eBay too much when they ask you specifically to stop calling them. But with that said, yeah, that's an issue that's happened. My thing is every 6 months you should be doing an inventory, going through your active listings that you see that you can actually physically get into and making sure that item is there, because sometimes eBay will remove your listing, or sometimes you'll have that item listed but not on your rack, and then that'll lead to a lot of problems. Spam has toenail clippings on eBay, $90.
Oh God, that's so gross.
There's people actually that will actually right now, they've actually pulled up their search to look for that, just because you mentioned it. I really
just want to know why you know all these things.
Why I know all of what things?
These weird things.
What weird things? That's spam saying that.
Farts in a jar, nail clipping.
Because we talked about farts in a jar. We talked about farts in a jar many months ago. You guys remember that? True. So knowing that's something that's never left, it's one of those things you can't unsee. Once you look it up and go, wow, I can't believe like these things are sold on eBay, you'll never forget it. Dark Horse says, I was thinking earlier that if everyone just cost the total sum of their parts, there'd be no market. At least no free market, because no one would make anything at all. You have to consider labor, sourcing, benefits. Well, the answer could be take that $40 item and put it at $25. But then you consider, well, you're only into it for $10 after fees. What are you really making? Next to nothing. And that's like, well, then forget it. I'm just going to hold out for $40. And I think that's what a lot of people have been doing. and that goes in. Now you're going into a different part of the argument. It's what you're buying to sell now, but you can't do anything about it. The toughest thing about telling someone it's their items is they're stuck with those items. It's like, I've spent thousands upon thousands of dollars for this inventory. How's this Yahoo telling me it's my stuff? How dare him tell me that? But I'm not here to like massage anyone's feelings. I'm simply here to just tell you the reality that if you bought bad, it's going to be hard to recoup those funds unless you're willing to come down in price. And then once you do, when you go out and buy again, you need to buy better. Otherwise, it's just an endless cycle, and it's going to be really frustrating. If you're trying to be what you were in 2019, it's not going to work. JRKR 1964 says, who are they to judge price gouging? Let the market work unless it's a necessity for health. But even then, that's the argument, right? Let's not sell water at $5 a bottle because it's not right. They need the water, right? You should be giving it to them. That was the argument for sanitizer. You guys remember that? Sanitizer is like impossible to find. People were making their own sanitizer, and now it's like, I mean, you can't give the stuff away, right? Just the supply and demand. So I don't know. Duncan says, Jeannie is the boss of John. Who's Jeannie?
Me. He calls me all
Jeannie.
kinds of fun names.
Samantha says, give them all that information in the photos till they have to buy it. I've learned spotlight, bright light, up close pics, and detail the hell out of them. They'll make offers. Yeah. And if you can, now some people can't, but if you can pull up your listing quality report, don't listen to what I have to say. Don't listen to what any YouTuber has to say. Go into your listing quality report and get the scoop on what eBay thinks about your listings. And start there. Start trying to comply. And I know a lot of people think, screw eBay. I don't want to do what they have to say. They take too much of my money and I'm not getting sales. But they're in the business for you. They want you to sell. They want everyone to sell. If they get everyone up in sales, they would. Now I know that they have to kind of spread that those sales amongst all the sellers, it seems. But you can improve your standing and get more sales by doing some of the basic things that they want you to do. And sometimes that has nothing to do with the amount that you're promoting. It's the number of photos. It's, the quality of your listing and item specifics that are in your listing that maybe you need to work on. Dark Horse says, it's amongst the dumbest thing I've ever heard out of any government in all my 40 years on earth. Well, that is 2024 for you. Patrick Murphy says, oh, Lord, I listed 2 farts in a jar as a joke, and both got taken down as sexual strike. Despite in description, I left a note for the eBay rep and read it back to me on the phone.
Wow.
Now, the aggravating thing about that is if eBay was serious about this policy, a sexual policy, like some strike, then it took me 2 seconds to pull up all the other ones that are currently listed. There's like 30 or 40 farts in a jar currently for sale. Why aren't those getting taken down under the same guy? You can wipe out all of them if that was important. In fact, how about, and I've talked about this before, how about just like if you try to list something with ivory in the title, it'll flag it and saying, no, you can't list this, right? Well, how about flag fart? Okay, the word fart should not be in any listing. Flag that, just ban it altogether. But eBay allows it. Larry Todd says, salty heifers for the win.
That's right. Don't be a salty heifer.
What about an HT in a jar?
I don't know what a HT is.
Wow, we can really
I don't even want to try to guess.
A hot toddy? I don't know. What is that? Jovial Juggler says, are there any live videos to confirm the authenticity of the fart in a jar? Authenticity of the fart in a jar. No, but they might be making a new department for that. Oh, Brian S. says, subbed, how are you flipping? Ain't easy. I'm trying to source a low-cost method of sending glass microwave turntables, 12 to 16-inch item width. You can find salvage pallets where like they have a bunch of these microwaves and they have them listed as salvage. They don't work. They're busted all to hell, but maybe the turntables on the inside, the glass ones that are removable and cleanable, you can pull those out and sell them for like 20, 30 bucks a piece.
Yeah.
I've seen those before. Actually, some might be more expensive, but from what I saw, like $20, $30 a piece. So when you get like one of the sites that I go to locally, they have it out and you see, wow, that's beat to hell, but the glass is still good. and you could buy it for $1 and flip it for 20 plus shipping. Junk Trader says this conversation makes my inner 12-year-old boy crack up. Well, my inner 12-year-old boy never left the building. Let me put it that way. Dark Horse Productions. These items or times we're living in are not normal and probably would be approached quite differently than ever before. Yeah. Travis in Dallas says, how much for a moist?
Oh, come on, Travis. No.
You'll have to ask Beard. He specializes in the moist ones. Andy says, how many of these farts do you think actually come from that smoke and hot blonde chick? Are you talking about on the listing?
Oh.
I don't know. It's like,
none.
Yeah, if you
Zero.
In the listing, there is a, I guess we can.
Come on.
Come on, what? I guess we'll share. So that's what they're talking about. So he's talking about that girl right there in the swimsuit, and they're wondering how many are actually from her. I'm willing to bet she ain't part of the operation, right? So someone, and this could be an AI picture, by the way. AI can make you a picture like that, and guess what? There's no lawsuits involved for having her image or likeness attached to your fart operation. Andy Reno says, how many of those farts do you think? Okay, we did that.
Isn't a moist fart a shart?
I don't have experience with that.
I don't either, but isn't that what that is?
Anybody knows? Anybody out there
Anybody who
has experience, and if you have experience with those, consider this toilet seat back here. So you might be needing one soon. Silver Harris says, fart candles, 24 cents. That's what this Alexa tried to sell me. I don't know. Dark Horse is a self-employed Christian. It all feels futile, and yet Jesus hasn't returned. I don't believe in sitting on hands and looking up. I just don't think that it's helping anyone. Live your life. Make it your best day every day. Ferret fan. My Alexa heard that. Dark Horse says, we're to make the most of our days with what we have, living for the Lord so that others may want what we have. That is very, very true. When I can't give a homeless lady $5 comfortably, that's just depressing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't. Duncan says, if I know John, he will do a show on Thursday before they go, which is my Friday. We might, if I have the time to do it. Craig says, can you still get the Power Seller mug? I think you can. I think you can get all those things. Someone has them. I think they stopped the Power Seller thing in 2015? Maybe I'm wrong. TikTok is not starting, is holding me back. LOL. Got to get past that. Got to just do it.
Just jump right in.
Duncan says, if you hit the like on that, other than the Roman show, you get a charge back on your sale.
No.
Shout out to Roman. I don't know where he's been.
Well,
I know he's not feeling well. I know he's dealing with some personal things, but hopefully he's at least watching, relaxing, taking it easy, and
we love you, Roman. We're praying for you.
Jovial says eBay bucks tomorrow for the like and subscribe on Primo and Spam's channel. But you can't do that tomorrow. I don't think they're doing a members live tomorrow, right? They're not doing their normal one. TikTok says I will price 15% higher and give them 15% off. LOL. That is a trick. Thing. That's a trick. It's one way to keep your price the same. At least you have a markdown sale going on. Venom says, John, I mentioned this in members only stream, but we'll also mention here for a wider audience. Guys, feedback revisions work. My buyer didn't like condition, did refund, and they removed my first negative. They do. What I don't understand and I don't quite agree with is that on your feedback revisions, you only have so many. So I think they give you 5 in a year. You're eligible for 5 feedback revision requests for 1,000 feedback received in the last 12 months. So I have only 5, and I've already used 3, and I think one of them the buyer ever did anything with. It's like, hey, give your money back. Would you think about revising your feedback? And it's like, look, they don't care. They got their money back. CM Retro Gaming says, are the Colts going to win the Super Bowl? No. Signs point to no on that one. CM Retro Gaming says the listed and forget it resellers don't last. Even part-time sellers need to make time for eBay each day. Yep. I'm a firm believer of end items sell similar when they're about to end their 30-day cycle and make improvements to your listing. Then go back in, see what both Terapeak and the 90 days are saying about your item, and be willing to accept that you may have made a mistake on the item and or are pricing it too high. I think that's the first place to start with. Biff says, from now on, when I take time off, I'm launching drafts. My sales hammered last Friday for going off grid. Exact thing happened last time. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And I have drafts. I'm going to have scheduled ones to go Friday morning. I'm going to be listing, and that way I have Saturday and Sunday squared away, but it knows when we're not here. eBay knows when we're not here.
It's the phone tracker. It tracks the phone.
TikTok, do you advertise shipping within 48 hours? We do same day. So if they buy the item by 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, we ship it out that day. And that's the way we have it set up. Big Dre says, yes, that's lowball feedback happened to Popeye Postcards. He did a video on it recently. Those kind of buyers are known as choosing beggars. Dark Horse says, I think about my neighbors much more these days. Just wonder, do they even have what they need to survive? Just hope that they're okay. Well, let's hope that things don't go crazy. Let's just hope. The world is a hot mess right now. You can't deny that. TikTok says it's subconscious worry about what's coming. Jimmy D.
Major win.
Oh, major win. Thanks for being there, Major Win. Sorry, did not see you. You snuck in there like that. Jimmy D says, John and Jenna currently use laser printer for shipping labels. I want to upgrade to a thermal roller printer. What do y'all use? Any recommendations and price? Well, you guys know that we like Rollo, right? We deal with Rollo. I like Rollo, but we might have a sponsor pretty soon. We might have a sponsor pretty soon. So, and this sponsor, I've vetted them. I'm not really going to talk about them just yet, but there's some good thermal label printers you can find on Amazon. Look for the stars and look for a lot of reviews. And 4.5 stars out of 5 is kind of where you want to go with. And if they have good reviews, a lot of reviews, then go with that. And unless you don't need a wireless one, unless you're wanting to run labels from your phone or something like that. She thought she needed a wireless one. I mean, is it set up wireless?
No.
Yes, it is.
Well, yeah, I can do it wireless, but it is a wired.
Yeah, she wants to put it farther away from the laptop, and so it's in a spot where it's accessible, but she doesn't really have room.
I don't have a lot of room in that office, and I cannot have anything more on my shipping table because it gets too chaotic in there when I'm trying to wrestle these boxes. So I have to have the thermal printer on the other side over on a different table because it gets in the way.
And so I don't know what we're going to do with that. The whole idea though behind it is I would be trying to get some printers to give away to you guys if I do something like that with the sponsor. So we'll see. Dark Horse says they messed up the time zones again. It's even worse now. Look at the 70s. Yeah, time zones are jacked up, but you know what? These are all things that we deal with. These are obstacles, right? We just know that they're there and we just keep going. Let's see. We've got Harbor's Hope, new member. Well, thank you. I believe your name is Ron. I think your name is Ron. So Ron, thank you for being a member. It's nice to have you. And check out the members only content. It's like some inside baseball that we kind of
it's not really about baseball.
It's not baseball, but it's just kind of going into stuff that I think the mass is probably like, look, I don't care about what you got going on, but we have that. So you can check that out for the meantime, but we'll have a members only live next month.
Yes, that's wrong.
Dark Horse, daylight savings time is no fun. Oh, here's Beard. John has bad taste in music. Now, what's wrong with my taste in music?
He's just never gotten out of the 90s.
I mean, I don't listen to Five Finger Fruit Punch, but
What?
Five Finger Fruit Punch.
What is Five Finger Fruit Punch?
That's what Beard listens to. It's Five Finger Fruit Punch, isn't it? I don't know.
I don't believe that's the name
that
of it.
Sounds like it, but I know that's kind of what he likes. Just because I don't listen to them doesn't mean that I have a bad taste in music. Biff Boffo, Keith Sweat. Yes, Keith Sweat. You know what? What's funny is he's the headliner, and I'm not the biggest Keith Sweat fan. You know, I listen to it, but it's the other groups that I like that are there. So
I think they're like old has-beens, and they're this concert that you're wanting to go to is going to be like one of those.
Hey, I'm cool with it. The tickets were at a decent price point.
In a field.
No, it's in an actual building. It's in an actual building.
I think I might need to be protected when we go because I don't know what to expect.
Woodrow Blue 83. Yeah, man, that dope 90s concert. Yeah, it's like, I can't wait. I'm excited. I fired up some of these songs from some of the, I did.
I know you did.
And I'm like, oh, I haven't heard these in a while. It's going to be cool.
And it's Death Punch, by the way.
Sure, it's not
Five-finger Death Punch, not
fruit punch. Makes more sense. You don't have a spoon; you just stir it with your hand.
Wow.
Beard says Cody Jinx is coming here next month. I need to grab some tickets. See, there you go. Whatever you like, go with it. Enjoy it. Right? Major Win says Taylor makes so much she doesn't even fart anymore. She pays no name for that. Oh, geez. Oh, Beard says, I took a nap. My life is so complete without the beginning rant. I knew something. I knew you fell asleep in that chair. You know you're getting older when you just have to take that 2 o'clock nap. Or in your case, the 5 o'clock nap. Samantha, Jenna, do you like Crystal Gayle, Barbara Mandels and sisters, and Dolly Parton? The 70s and 80s crew?
No.
That's a little kind of.
That's a little too old for me.
Like
I am an 80s, 90s.
So Jovi used to Ding Dong Ditch.
Yes, we did that.
How about Crank Call when no one had before people had the caller ID on their phone, right? Oh man, I had the nicest teacher in high school, my French teacher. He looked like the logo on the can of Dutch Boy paint with like the hairstyle, like the blonde like hair, and he'd walk around and he was so nice. And me and my best friend in high school were up late. It was like 2 a.m, and we found his number in the phone book. And so we called him, and he answered the phone, and we asked him, "Hey, I woke up for a sandwich. What did you wake up for?" And he was so nice. He wasn't upset or anything. It's like, wow, this guy. So some of the things that you do as a juvenile, it's like, wow.
What's even more amazing is the fact that you remember.
I remember.
I don't remember any of that.
I remember dying laughing, just as a kid, as a stupid kid, in junior high, just being stupid. I remember that. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. Christine Anderson, when I was 13, I won a Hulk Hogan coloring contest. I won 4 front row tickets and backstage passes. I met Hulk Hogan, Jake the Snake, and Randy Macho
That's so cool.
Man, Randy Savage. Yes. Samantha, my first Walkman and all I listened to at age 9 to 13, country music.
Yeah.
I remember the Walkman. I had a Walkman that I bought.
I didn't like country music until after my dad passed away. Fun fact is I hated country music because my dad, my biological dad, he loved country music, but he listened to the Alabama tape literally on repeat. And so me being the brat that I was, I took that tape and I buried it in the sand in our driveway. And no kidding, after he passed away when I was 12, I went outside and unburied the tape.
Dug it up.
Yeah, dug it up. And I've been a country listener ever since.
Didn't it work? Did the tape work, or was it thrashed? Okay. That would have been cool if the tape still worked.
I wouldn't even have put it in there. It would have broke my tape deck.
Todd E. Anyone notice items are not coming up in search? Says 0 views searched and didn't see my listing. I haven't seen that. Anybody else out there seen that? Let us know so Todd can confirm if it's on his end or if it's really something happening to everyone. Henri Squaw says returns are higher on my end as well. but are your sales up there? So I think the worst thing that can happen is, okay, sales suck right now, but my returns are up. It's like the few items I am selling, it's coming back. That would be pretty bad. Yeah. Beard saw Alabama in the 80s.
I would have given anything to see Alabama. I was just told you that story. I buried the Alabama tape in the sand. But
go ahead and finish your point.
It reminds me of my dad. Roll On 18-Wheeler was played at my dad's funeral. My dad was a truck driver, as many of you know, and it was played at his funeral.
You cannot throw gang signs at this camera.
Sorry.
It'll react. It'll try to what? Basket Noodle. I had my first EIS refund claim roll in last week, 241, and eBay said that they're taking care of the whole thing.
Boom! There you go.
I mean, if they're going to say this is a selling point for this program, then they need to back us up. The other account, we do have it. We sent, and what was that item that we sent to EIS?
I've sent
several.
You
said it was going to Germany. What was it? Well, I don't know. I don't know now. It doesn't matter.
It was a part for something.
Yeah.
A coffee
doing a lot of part things, right? So now they have an issue. It's on eBay. Beard says, my dad took us right before he got sick. I didn't start listening to country music till 92.
Yep, me too. But I'm way younger than you.
So what did you listen to before? That's what I want to know. And because you like death metal punch crunch or whatever the heck that you have, I'm sure that's what you listened to. Yeah, fruit punch. That's probably what it was. Basket Noodle says, I've never had a point of sale support me like that. If it were in the day I had a merchant account, it would be in at least 340. Yeah. They promise that's probably one of their selling points. EIS, if there's a problem, they'll cover the return. So Basket Noodle says, Klondike does make them on a stick. Do they? You know, the only ice cream I really look for anymore is the Bluebell. Anybody have Bluebell in your state? It's not all of the United States, but I got to tell you, if you get the ooey gooey butter cake one, it is the best ice cream that I've eaten. It's like to die for. And I like chocolate. It doesn't have any chocolate in it, and it's better than that.
Pierce wants you to remove the stick from your butt.
Okay, and I'll mail it
for your Klondike bar.
Then I'll mail it to you. Basket Noodle says, now if you want try something really good, it's those Magnum ice cream bars.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah. It's a joke though that I have, like when we go to the river, me and the guys who go to the river, and the first thing I say when walking in, because I will buy them, is I need to find the Magnums. And he's like looking at me funny, like, why the hell do you need that? No, ice creams.
Yes.
Yes.
Those are my absolute favorites.
Just Damien says, so hard, been sitting on inventory for months. So like a death pile, no motivation to, I don't know.
Where's that Damien?
So no motivation to list. So I'm curious, what is the tough part about it? And what's the thing that's going to get you motivated to get it listed? Now I'm hopeful that's the case. I hope that you haven't listed it. And if you're just sitting on it, that means that there's something going on with the item. And the first place I'd look is the price. Beer says economic conditions changes consumer demand. Yes. Just Damien says my prices are lower than competitors and 0 views for months.
Wow. Something's not right in your store.
So the question then is, are other people selling it? So your prices are lower, yet they're getting the sales and you're not. So now you got to really figure some things out. Could it be account health? Could it be promoted? Maybe they're promoting and you're not. Believe it or not, and a lot of people are starting to come around to this realization that if you're not promoting, eBay is going to punish you, just the way it is. Midwest Picker, price controls is communism. The problem is devaluating the dollar, not prices at Walmart. Yeah, I agree with that entirely. Flipping from the trailer says, hell, everyone. How you doing? Well, hell.
Hello.
Well, hell. Everything's great. Nice seeing you. Keith says, don't start on sanitizer. I have like 100 boxes of that now. Got to go in the bin as past expiry date.
Yeah.
sure it's still good.
I'm sure that it's still good. We just can't sell it.
Beard says, I went to look at my listings quality report and I didn't have one. Does that mean eBay thinks I'm so awesome that I don't need one? Yeah, that's what it is. But for the rest of us, it's I'm surprised that more people don't have it by now. It's let's see, under your seller hub, and should be under, I think it's performance summary. Yep. And then it should be a little bubble. It says download listings quality report. They do update mine every couple days, and I'm sure that I need to get into that report and do some revisions. But when things are going well, you're not really quick to look for. Yeah, it's here, and it shows. I don't know the date here. It doesn't show me the date, but try
right
to
there 8:15.
8:15. So it's 4 days old. So it keeps it fairly recent. Jovial says, back hair with toenail sprinkles on your ice cream cone.
Oh God.
Big Dre says, I bought 2 air conditioners, one for each room, and I have a larger one in the living room because these triple-digit temperatures are crazy. I'm glad my storage unit is climate controlled. Yeah. I mean, we have a good AC unit in here. It's 106 right now, but you wouldn't know it. Basket Noodle says, I'd not classify farts as sexual item, but one of potential pathogens in real life. Every fart results in feces becoming airborne.
Okay, we need to get off the farts.
Big Dre says, oh yeah, the storage unit rose my rent from 170 to 180. Got to pay that tomorrow. And that's
God,
prices.
I swear you just had a price increase. That's insane.
Yeah. Junk Trader, my friend had to go to conference with her son's 2nd grade teacher. He said the F word, no joke. He said the fart word, and they had to have a conference. She thought it was the other F word.
Oh my God. Wow.
Brian S says, I have those turntables, just need the packaging to ship. To be honest with you, if I had those turntables, those glass microwave turntables,
I would package them like I did the records.
The records, get 2 pieces of square cardboard that's larger than the turntables, and then wrap them with bubble wrap and or the quilted air pillows. I got to tell you guys, that for me, last year was when did we get the paper tape machine? Was it last year?
Yeah.
That was the purchase of the year for the business. This air pillow machine is the purchase of the year for our business because it's great. And you get the quilted air pillows. You could play basketball with those turntables. Those things aren't going to break. Beer says, a moist fart in a jar short. No, I'll let you do that one. Hill Valley Vintage. The cherry on top is that they are charging $13.21 shipping on an empty jar.
Exactly.
Oh, Samantha, John, if you could create an avatar to do your YouTube lives, would you create one? No. I enjoy doing it. And as far as an avatar, though, an avatar for like
avatars for logos or like, or do you mean like an avatar to actually talk?
Coppercat says, you need to ask a teen boy about farts. I'm sure they can tell you more than you would want to know. I can remember being a teen boy, so I remember all those.
Can we move away from?
I'm not the one taking it there.
I know.
Mike says,
you're very late.
I wore that Power Starlet shirt once and felt like a dork. No, you go to an eBay open with it. I'm sure you get a lot of people
sure people will be like
wanting to buy it from you.
I was just gonna say.
Samantha says, gosh, I'm sitting here thinking about candy I want for Halloween. Anybody else? I'm thinking about going on a diet. I don't know about anybody else. That's what I'm thinking about. They have me going to this beach, and I'm like, can I wear my shirt? Because I ain't trying to go out there,
John's not a beach person at all. He's not a water person. I'm lucky he takes showers.
Ron says, yes, it's Ron. Yes, Ron. Death punch, 5 fingers in the punch. Yes. He sells seashells. You know what the 5-finger death punch or the 5-finger fruit punch reminded me of? I saw a video of one of the street vendors, and the ones that sell the punch, right? And I guess someone was like, had their camera on him. He reaches around, scratches his butt, and then takes
Aw.
his hand and he's mixing the fruit punch or whatever that's being sold. And I'm like, I will never buy any punch from a street vendor like that. 5-finger death punch or any kind of punch. He sells seashells by the seashore. There's so much out there, guys. I can't keep up. Slower week last week, then bam, $1,000 weekend.
Mhm.
It's hard to say. I wasn't expecting $1,000 day yesterday, but we hit it. Andy says, let's see how you feel when all your artists pull up on wheelchairs.
Seriously.
Hey, I don't care. I don't care. As long as they sing right. If they, they have, they start sounding like, I don't know, an artist that has a raspy voice, then I'll be really upset. Silver hair. I have a half dozen strawberries that can beat your 5-finger fruit punch.
Garden resale thrifts.
Garden resale thrifts. My only country
Hey.
song I like is Tennessee Ernie Ford, 16 tons. I don't know that one. Midwest. I mostly get my returns on women's jeans.
Yeah, because for some reason women don't know how to
You can
size
ask-
themselves.
You can ask Beard about that. They just don't know the correct dimensions of their butt. I don't know. Maybe they're hopeful and then they can't zip it up.
Yeah.
Jerry Johnson says, as a kid on Sundays, I had to listen to the radio with the Big Joe Polka Show because that's what my dad listened to. I still don't like polka music.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah, times have changed. If you think about the music we used to listen to, the kids are like, no, that sucks, right?
Yeah. Well,
Um,
there's some stuff where my son will be like, "Oh, that's a cool song. Haven't heard that in a while." And then I'm like, I know all the words.
Anissa says, I eat the chocolate-covered bars the same way. I'm a very strange eater. I own it. I go around my plate, eat one thing at a time. Don't like my food touching.
Oh my God, you're one of those. My son is like that. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. I will eat candy
He's not
bars.
so bad as a 20. He's almost 24. But when he was a kid, when he was little, he could not eat on a plate that had multiple things on it. It was disturbing. I don't know where he learned that from.
Jovial says, Captain Crunch, Fruit Loops, or Lucky Charms. None of them.
No,
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is pretty damn good.
not a cereal.
I haven't eaten cereal in
Although
years.
Golden Grams, I'm sorry.
I mean, how many gang signs do you need to throw up to realize?
Golden Grams was my jam when I ate cereal.
Let's see. Hit the like button to get a sale within a minute. Cha-ching.
Yes!
There you go. Nice to see that. Jovial Flintstones, Tom and Jerry, or Scooby-Doo? Flintstones. Yeah. Bearded Picker. I go through Fort Payne, Alabama every couple of months. Alabama is still loved here.
Yeah.
Remember the King Vitamin cereal? No.
No.
That doesn't sound good.
No.
Bearded Picker says, is there anything else I can get you guys to buy for your business? I don't know. I'm sure there's something. Duncan says, John, could you not make your daily eBay sales if you went to the casino daily? I could.
Oh.
I could. I would work in the day. I work in the morning, and I would go to the casino in the evening. And I would play cards. I wouldn't do anything else but play poker, because that's where I know I have a chance, a more than average chance of winning. Whereas the casino, at the very best, you're like at 45% chance to win. Dark Horse, boy, that punch has got a real kick to it. What did you put in that punch, sir? Yeah, it was disgusting seeing that video. And it's like, wow, this guy did not know he was being recorded either. That's disgusting. He was being evil, was what he was being. Jimmy D says, I cannot believe I searched for farts in a jar. Alexa and Big Brother are listening. I cannot wait till the wife starts getting advertising on Facebook for farts in the jar. Jovial, we're tiny, we're toony, we're all a little loony. Yeah, a little bit. We got Ed Edelbrock says King Vitamin was the best.
I've never heard of that.
King Vitamin? That just sounds.
It doesn't sound like a very fun, kid-friendly cereal.
But there's a lot of
Vitamin would crush your mouth more than Captain Crunch.
King Vitamin cereal. It looks like honeycomb. That's like honeycomb cereal that was like crunched up. King Vitamin. That doesn't even look good. I don't know. As a kid, if I walk by and it looks like Captain Kangaroo on the.
It does.
It does. It does. Tell me that's not Captain Kangaroo. King Vitamin. Wow, that doesn't look very good. Not anything that I think I would want to have.
It was a lot like Captain Crunch.
And I don't know what that free item is. That might be what the kids want. They don't want the cereal. Garden Resale Thrifts I use to mix my dinner together as pie, mashed potato, and peas with baked barbecue chicken. I
do mix my food a lot. I mix like my corn and mashed potatoes. I eat a lot of my food.
Meat can't be touching the bone. It can't be on the bone. Can't be meat on the bone, even though that's where it starts, right? It has to be cut up into little pieces on her plate like a 5-year-old.
Why is that?
Again, the gang signs.
Why is that?
You gotta stop with the gang signs.
Why is that? Why is that?
Why is that what?
Why is my food have to be cut very small?
Because you don't eat like a normal person?
No, because I don't have a gallbladder.
But you can still cut them into small pieces. You don't have to have them.
I don't have a gallbladder, for one. And for two, I choke.
So no show this Saturday. More than likely not. Even though it'd be kind of a cool show to do from the beach.
From the beach with a bunch of children? No, not happening.
Ed Edelbrock says King Vitamin would crush your mouth more than the Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of glad I didn't try Mr. Vitamin.
Maybe it was an East Coast thing.
Maybe. Samantha says, John and Jenna, I adore you guys. I'm going to say bye. You two have a great trip. Be safe. You'll be missed. Return to the FAA soon. I'm signing off now. Supper time.
Enjoy your supper.
Enjoy. Basket Noodle says, expect Uncle Sparky's breakfast bars. Spunkies. Oh, Uncle Sparky would be interesting. Stop your son and daughter from having children too early.
Wow.
Duncan says, Jeannie's laughing brightens my morning while picking orders. Samantha says, okay, John, don't knock it until you try it. It was very good. Thank you very much.
No, I'm glad you love it, but we've never heard of it. So it could be an East Coast thing is what
Here's
I'm
a cereal I liked a lot. And as a kid, it's kind of weird that I liked it, but I liked it from being a kid all the way up to being an adult. And that's Raisin Bran. And not just the generic stuff, the good stuff. The stuff where they put the sugar on the raisins. That was the bomb. That was really good stuff.
Yeah, well, I like that more as an adult, but like I said, I don't eat cereal.
Ed says, by the way, I watch you guys and I don't usually respond, but I love you both. Well, thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
Thanks for dropping in.
Thanks
I love
for
it.
saying hi.
Yeah, love seeing people. You know, there's probably for every person that comments, there's probably another person out there that just can't. Maybe they watch their TV or they just don't want to go on and comment that enjoys the program. So thanks. I think it's awesome.
Says that looks like King Charles. Kind of does.
I thought it reminded more of Captain Kangaroo. But see, this is it. There's no kid nowadays that would see the cereal box and say, wow, I got to have that. Yeah. But they see the toy, they see the free something, and it's like, Mom, can I get the toy? Because they know they're going to eat whatever.
And they'll dig through the cereal, getting their grubby hands all over it.
Duncan's looks like I have nothing to listen to on Saturday morning then. No. We're going to do the Profit Playbook podcast is going to happen.
Oh, no. Remember, is he talking about?
Oh, for our Friday. Okay.
He's in Australia.
Oh, yeah. That'll be Saturday evening for you, Profit Playbook. But probably not. Probably not. So have your notifications on just in case, because you never know.
Just go back and rewatch the live.
Jimmy D says Kellogg's Frosted Flakes with the banana still good today. I don't know about the banana. The Frosted Flakes were good, but the milk got too sweet.
Eat fruit at all.
Well, just not mixed up like that.
You don't eat fruit.
Nick so lurking and working. Just wanted to say hi. Well, thanks for being here, Nick. Getting ready for football season, I see.
Todd says Raisin Bran tastes like bark with sugar on it.
No, that stuff's good. I don't know what it is, just the raisins, and that's good. Basket Noodle says, actually, King Vitamin looks like a whole lot like Sir Charles of England.
Yeah.
Garden Resale Thrifts, I have a gallstones, and if I get another ulcerative colitis flare, my gallbladder will swell up and hurt.
Let me tell you, it's not a fun thing. I had to have mine removed.
And they told her, do not eat red meat, right? They told you don't eat red meat, but she still eats it. right?
I just eat little pieces, like very small amounts of it. I don't eat it very often though.
Junk Trader, Count Chocula, time is coming. It hits different as adult. I used to eat a box a day and drink the milk. Yeah, I just can't do the all that milk anymore. Duncan says Playbook podcast promoted listings talk is Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Yes. Jimmy D says, John, when is your next whatnot?
Oh
Gosh.
We need to do it. We just got to get through a few things.
I would say, if I had to guess, say September. If I had to guess, right?
Yeah.
But we have things that we could sell, but not, I don't think the greatest. But I think what we had before was the greatest.
I would like to be able to go out and do some garage sales before we do another one. But I don't know that that's going to happen because it's too hot here.
Ed used to go all the way to the bottom to save the toys. He had drawers full. Then we moved and gave them away. Now they're worth hundreds. Yeah. Imagine if you can go back to all the toys you had. I remember walking to Sears. And yes, I remember walking to Sears. It was like a 2-hour walk, not a 2-hour walk, a 2-mile walk, 2 hours, because I would be walking fast. And I would walk with like $10 in my pocket. And I'd buy like, I think it was like 2 or 3 Star Wars action figures, right? And I'd bring them back and add them to the collection. If knowing what I do now, yeah, I still would have bought one for myself because the kid in me would still be like, I want to play with these Star Wars. But I would have bought an extra one to put away. Like buy 2 of whatever, right? That's, if I could do that, then, that would have been a nice little payday.
Yeah.
Garden Resells says, I eat above 90% ground beef.
Yeah, so do we.
Mike Gertis dried.
I don't eat a lot of like meat though. I eat a lot of chicken.
Yeah, she ate a lot of chicken. Like I made ribs. I barbecued ribs yesterday, and she doesn't like ribs, so she had to have her chicken, right? So it is what it is. More ribs for me.
Yeah,
more leftovers for me.
I mean, it's very, very rare for me to have a steak. I mean, I like them, but I don't eat them very often.
Blueberry and Frankenberry cereal.
Oh, I've seen those at Halloween.
Remember those? Those were back in the day.
Yeah.
The cereal toys all in plastic wrapping. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mike Gertis says if you're not careful, you can break a tooth trying to chew those raisins.
Well, if you soak them in the milk long enough, they're good.
They're good. I love those raisins.Ose are good.
I did too.
I never really was a raisin guy. Like, oh, here's a box of raisins. I'm gonna eat some raisins.
I would never go to the store and buy raisins.
And I hate it. I still cannot to this day eat raisin cookies. I cannot. I just won't eat a raisin cookie. But Raisin Bran, I'll eat that.
Yeah, that's weird. You're weird.
Okay, well, I'll eat my meat on the bone.
Yeah.
Silver hair. Australian breakdancers eat Raisin Bran.
Are you okay?
Hey, she got a free vacation out of that. Duncan says, I still got Star Wars Legos from the 70s. I was a kid in another world. Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
And this says, I would have a literal fortune in cereal toys if I would have saved them as a kid in a single mom. I ate a ton of cereal, probably why I never broke a bone from all that milk.
Yeah. Seriously.
Garden Resale says, I get bored of chicken. I like ribs and pork chops.
Yeah. I get bored of chicken too, but when he's barbecuing, he's doing ribs.
This sounds
and
good.
I'm not
gonna make that this week.
What?
I'm gonna make, how does this sound, guys? Smoked meatloaf.
Yeah, that does.
That's off the chain. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Jovial Juggler says, you had $10 in your pocket as a kid, you were rich.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but I had to do chores and save money.
It was probably $10 to pay him to go away and go do something to get out of her hair.
Joe says, been eating Frosted Flakes for 75 years. Love them. Yeah, it just makes your milk too. Frosted Flakes.
I just don't like. You have to eat them really quick because I don't like soggy.
The sog factor was no good.
Oatmeal cookies, no raisin.
Oatmeal cookies with chocolate chip. I'm a chocolate chip guy. I love chocolate chip cookies, and I think I've perfected the chocolate chip recipe. Did Tyler say that chocolate chip recipe was?
Yeah. He said it turned out really good.
The key to a good chocolate chip cookie is you got to brown your butter. Yeah. You got to brown your butter before you and then put that in your chocolate chip recipe. It'll take the flavor of your chocolate chip cookie to another level.
Yeah.
Duncan says, "Oh no, Jeannie mentioned barbecue now. I'm hungry. Thanks, Jeannie." And Garden Resale Thrifts. I do love turkey dark meat.
I don't like dark meat. I like white meat.
We had a pit boss, and that was good. But we ended up getting I sold those, or that one and the Blackstone, for a Masterbuilt Series 800 gravity. It's a charcoal gravity grill where you basically put in the charcoal grill. I didn't even make an L that time.
You did it that time.
The charcoal gravity grill, and then it's like a hopper for your charcoal, but you can throw chunks of wood in if you want smoke. You don't have to.
Put your hands down.
And it's down low, and I'm telling you, gives you such a better smoke than the Pit Boss grill. It's so good. I'll get to that. I don't know what it says. Frosted Flakes promote white hair and insanity as we age, hence the name. Jovial says, did you see the athlete who boinged his bong during the Olympics during the pole vault? If not, look it up. I see. Yes. I saw that. I saw that. That just wasn't right.
Oh.
Now, what would have been alarming is if that was the women's pole vault and that happened, that would be like, okay, this is enough of this. Nicole Smith says oatmeal chocolate chip scotchies. Is that like here's another thing. I like to make chocolate chip cookies, and I like to put butterscotch chips in with the chocolate chips. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Keith says, well, I got to go, guys. Got early start this morning. Got to be up in 4 hours.
Oh God. We'll get a couple of Z's in.
The camera zooms in because it's a feature in there to like do a sign, and it'll zoom. You can control the zoom, but I thought I'd turn all that crap off. I know it hasn't followed me, so at least half of it's working right. We'll figure it out. Junk Trader says he probably got a lot of dates after that. He's gold in my book. Jerry Johnson says chocolate raisin oatmeal and peanut butter cookies are the best. My son was home. He made them on the stove and then ate them right out of the kettle. Yeah, that's the best, right when they're out of the oven.
Oh my God.
Pitco, great show tonight. A whole bunch of laughs. Well, good. Glad to make somebody laugh. The Crazy Card just bought a Cobb grill, brand new, Goodwill, $8. Thinking about keeping it. If you need it, keep it. Ed says I saved my money from allowances to buy beer cans in Chicago. I had over 250 cans at 8 years old back in 1973. I sold them at a garage sale for $50 in 1977. Now worth hundreds.
Yeah, can you imagine what they would be worth now?
Wow.
I mean, I can just imagine my biological dad, before he passed away, he was a Coors Original, and it was in a bottle, and they didn't have cans back then.
My neighbor across the street, now this is when I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I don't know how I remember this, but my neighbor, he'd always hey, come on over. Like we'd go over there, and he's like, I got these bottle caps, and you could try to figure them out. And it's, I think, Pabst beer, and you like the bottle caps would have like a design and like a cow and something else. You got to figure out what it's trying to say. They always had these little trivia puzzles on them.
Oh my God.
Duncan says, so if Jeannie touches her nose, the camera zooms in, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole Olympics Australia lady that did the kangaroo. Yeah, that was.
I don't think I saw that, but I heard about it.
Jovis says if a woman boinged her boing, then that'd be a natural. But did you not watch the boxing for the women's boxing? They could have boinged their boing. Basket Noodle says cornflakes have been an attempt at rural farming, trying to make inner city kids insane as they age.
Say what?
Attempt at rural farming, trying to make inner city kids insane as they age. I don't know, but it was pretty good. Ed says Coors also created the pop tops before the pull tabs.
Yeah, that was a pop top.
Yeah. Well, and let's pop the top on this show. I think that was the end of that. We're at the 2 hour mark, and time just flew. Want to say thank you guys for the time, and thank you for being here with us. It was a really, really good show. And you know what? Friday, we're not going to have a show, but we will be back on Monday. And I'm very hopeful we're going to have improved the production quality. I keep saying it, but it is now like on my radar, and I'm fully committed to doing that. But want to thank you guys for being here. Sales are going to happen. Bottom line, you got to figure it out. That's your job. It's like we're private investigators. And I'm willing to bet for many people, it's coming down on your price, even lower than you think you need to. may just be the ticket to get rid of some of this stuff. But figuring that out, or whatever it is that's holding your sales back, is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your week, and we will talk to you very soon.
Have a great week. We love you.